As Giants fans, we've just come to a point where we're just looking forward to the next season and what's going to happen then. And we're scrolling on Twitter, scrolling news articles to try to find any possible hints that we can. And now Twitter can't shut up about this, so let's talk about it. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back in to another video. Now, this will probably be the last time you guys see me until Thanksgiving, so if that is the case, happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there, and let's try to enjoy the game. This week, we're Cowboys fans, of course, for those of you guys that are part of the mission. You know, I saw a tweet by NYG Crush. We don't always agree, but definitely a friend on Twitter, but she said, like, how can you possibly be like looking forward to a draft pick after what we've seen from the Giants right now? And what I said was, listen, when you have a mission, when you are set on a mission, you need to see it all the way through. You have to see it all the way through, and the Giants are in that position right now. But before we start this video, guys, make sure you guys hit that like button, and also check out BetUS for a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. Second and third are 125%. Just use the promo code YouTube150, and yeah, check them out. So like I said, Thanksgiving coming up, and you know, of course, we're Cowboys fans. We gotta see it all the way through. We have to see this mission through, even though it hurts. Six more weeks of Giants football, and we can start looking forward to free agency, the draft, possible changes in the staff and things like that. So what I really want to talk about today is Sheduer Sanders. Now, this is not going to be a draft profile on him. That is after the season is over. We'll start doing draft profiles and stuff like that, but let's just start talking about what we're hearing as far as the Giants go and what they're kind of looking for next season. Now, we don't know if Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen are going to keep their jobs. If I had to put money down, I would say they are not going to be around next season. John Mara may say he wants to keep them around. I don't know how much longer his old heart is going to take seeing the Giants get absolutely mollywopped every single week the way that they have been the past couple of weeks, even against the Carolina Panthers, where Chuba Hubbard ran for a career high against us. However, the Giants and the coaching staff, and even they don't know if they're still going to be around, but they still have to do their jobs. And most recently, we saw Joe Schoen appear at Colorado, the Colorado Buffaloes, training. You guys know Deion Sanders coaches them. His son, Sheduer Sanders, possible QB1 in this upcoming draft, possible number 1 overall pick in this upcoming draft. He obviously plays for the team. Those are probably the two biggest prospects. Travis Hunter, probably the two biggest prospects in the draft at Colorado. Joe Schoen has shown up at practice, but this was not the first time that Joe Schoen has shown up at Colorado's practice, along with Brandon Brown, the assistant GM. He also, Brandon Brown actually did a speech a couple of weeks ago at Buffalo, at the Colorado Buffaloes. That's so weird to say. You know, with college teams, you never say the actual name. You just say like where they're from, like the Ohio State's team. You know, Alabama. You never see Alabama Crimson Tide. You know what I'm saying? So Colorado, at Colorado's practice, Brandon Brown had his own speech over there. We've seen Joe Schoen pop up a couple of times. It seems like they're interested, and I know they're not going to be going into the draft for Travis Hunter. We don't know what Travis Hunter is actually going to be at the NFL level. We don't know if he's actually going to play two ways. It would be amazing if he did. I don't think he's going to do that. Usually these guys find a spot in the NFL. You can look at a bunch of players in the NFL that were Swiss Army knives that found one position in the NFL. The Giants are going to go after a wide receiver that high after getting Malik Neighbors, or a cornerback that high. I just don't think so, over a quarterback. So in my opinion, they are heavily pursuing and heavily scouting Sheduer Sanders. Is he a right fit for the New York Giants? And listen, there's been a lot of talk over the past couple of weeks about Sheduer Sanders hinting that he wants to come to the Giants. Now, we saw this thing that went viral that a lot of people were talking about, where Sheduer Sanders has this kind of trend where he says, "Thank you, God," apparently every time the Giants lose a game. We've come to the point where we're kind of taking everything as a hint, as a possible hint that something is actually happening. I believed it in the beginning, but after looking into it more, he said it during a bye week for the Giants. Apparently, Raiders fans think the same thing is happening. So, I don't believe it, but it's fun. It's a fun little theory to talk about. It would be funny if Sheduer Sanders actually said that, you know, he would see the Giants score and say, oh, they lost? Boom. You know, go ahead and hit that thank you God on there. But it's Sunday, you know, they are Christians. Deion Sanders is a devout Christian, so I thought it was just funny to say there. But also, there were talks, you know, Sheduer Sanders was on a podcast. It has an O on it. It was like an overtime podcast. I don't know what it's called. But he was on a podcast, and somebody talked about him possibly being a New York Giant and linking up with Malik Neighbors. Check it out.
New York Giants bench Daniel Jones after being 2-8.
Honestly, I feel like they just got to take a second to, you know, regroup. You know, just hopefully get someone good at the draft.
What you doing that for, though? What you doing that for?
I mean, Malik Neighbors was my favorite receiver playing college football last year. Yeah. I wouldn't mind if I see y'all two on the team together. I'd be actually very happy.
Come on, man. He being federal here. I don't know. But nah, I think it's just up to the staff and up to the coaches at that point. I don't know. No comment. That's just a safe route for me. Just no comment. I can't even turn water into wine right now. I can't do anything, so just no comment.
Now, again, not a lot to go over there. You know, with the smiles and stuff like that, he knows that the Giants are a possible team to end up on. Will it be a good destination for him? In his mind, probably not. He probably would like to go to another team, but that high up, who is really probably the best destination that high up? You know, you got Jacksonville is not going to go after Sheduer Sanders. You got Cleveland. Cleveland is just like, do you really want to go to Cleveland out of all teams? Probably a good destination as far as personnel goes, right? The roster isn't as terrible, and you have a good coach over there. The Raiders are an absolute mess. They have been for a while. They don't know what they're doing. Would Sheduer Sanders want to go to the Raiders? I don't know. So as far as a media standpoint, as far as, you know, market, as far as potential goes, maybe the Giants are the best destination in that top 5 for him. You know, he talked about how, let's see what the coaches want. Let's see how, things work out. But he's got that smile on his face. Maybe he wants to be a New York Giant. I don't know. It's funny because I want the best players to come here, but every time that happens, I'm like, damn, man, they just screwed them. So they just, like Brian Burns just made himself, I mean, he was traded here, but Brian Burns came here, got a lot of money, and now he's like living through the pain right now. But as far as Sheduer Sanders goes, I have yet to really go through the film. You know, everybody says he is QB1. I think as far as his play style, he's QB1. You know, he's a lot more of a gunslinger. He's a lot more of a guy that's a lot more energetic, moves out the pocket, you know, tries to make a play happen at all times, make sure that he doesn't leave anything on the field. That's what I like about Sheduer Sanders. He is a go-get-it type of quarterback. Cam Ward, Cam Ward is my draft crush. If I had to pick a quarterback I would want Cam Ward. But maybe he is QB2. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I have to watch the film to really give you guys an honest opinion on who I think is quarterback 1, as I just get a notification. But as far as how I actually think is quarterback 1, I would have to do more film. But Sheduer Sanders, love him as a quarterback. As far as the maturity level goes, I don't think that's going to be much of a problem in the NFL. Now, one thing that I have talked about on this channel that I legitimately do feel concerned for. I love Deion. I am rooting for Deion, always rooting for Deion. I don't know how much he's going to interfere in the affairs of, his son and how business is gone and controversy and stuff like that, because Deion says what's on his mind. Deion cares about his kids. Deion cares about what's going on, which is awesome. It's awesome to see. But, you know, say the Giants draft Sheduer Sanders, right? And things go wrong. And let's say Sheduer Sanders just stays quiet and he just, instead of just showing the watch, like he matures up and he's a grown man now and, he's taking it on the chin. But what happens if Deion just crashes out and just says, like, yeah, nobody's blocking for the kid? He starts talking on all these podcasts and starts to create controversy and maybe even starts to, want to demand a trade. And you know, I don't want that pressure being on the Giants organization to, like, make sure they accommodate Sheduer Sanders in every way possible because they're scared of Deion Sanders, you know, going on a podcast and stirring up the pot. And I don't want that to happen. Now, will it happen? I don't know. But I'll be lying if I said I'm not concerned about that. So let's see what happens, man. I'm not a hater at all. I wouldn't mind the Giants drafting Sheduer Sanders. I want a dynamic quarterback to come here. Now, is this quarterback class as good as last year's? No. No, I'll be honest with you. I really hope Shedeur and Cam Ward end up to be good. I really do hope so, because there are a little bit of concerns there as far as their play goes. You see, they have a couple. Now, I'm not going to say one bad game is going to make me completely flip the switch on them, but, you know, tendencies. That's what you're looking for, tendencies, and how you can, you know, develop those guys. So, that is it. That's the whole video, guys. Just talking about Sheduer Sanders and his possibility. Would you guys like to see Sheduer Sanders wearing New York Giants blue, throwing to Malik Neighbors? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Woo!